go. Here we go.
Make an observation of the world around. Take notes and record all the things that you found. Then you ask yourself a question, something that you want to learn. And you form a hypothesis to explain what you observe.
Woo! Welcome to Scientific Method. What a great way to start the school year. Say what? This is Mrs. LaRue, and this is
Mrs. Diamond here in the house.
Oh! Okay, Scientific Method, guys. Let's get pumped. Let's get cranked. We are going to rock it. Okay, so we're getting ready for the big show, the big deal, the big thing going down at SEMO, because we are going to win it all this year, baby. Okay, so first, let's go ahead and revisit Scientific Method that we learned last year. And I'm telling you, this teacher right next to me, this Miss Keg, now Mrs. Diamond, and Miss Darren, Mrs. Hain, they told me that you guys really got your Scientific Method down. So
you guys got this. I know you do.
Okay, all right, so here is what you're going to, the learning goal is to apply scientific method in labs and science fair. All right, so the scientific method is simply, it is an organized pattern for normal thought processes when we ask ourselves questions to solve problems. So I know that you guys have went around and looked around and said, you know, I wonder why it's that shape.
Why is the sky blue?
Why did trees lose their leaves?
Why is it raining for 3 days in a row?
Okay, so good. You observed your environment. Okay, so the scientific method is what helps you solve these problems. So it's just a series of organized procedures used to solve problems. So when you solve problems, it needs to be organized. And I struggle in this department, and if I can do it, so can you. And we will be organized, all right? And it's an important skill that all scientists, geologists, mineralogists, biologists, all must have. So, as you know, there are 6 steps to the scientific method. The step 1 will be by Mrs. Diamond.
All right, here we go, guys. Step 1, ask the problem. If you guys remember, arf, 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 Tad. So ask the problem is the purpose or problem is stated in a question form that you have derived from observations you have made about your environment. The biggest thing is the question cannot be answered with a yes or a no. If you ask when or...
For example, Mrs. Diamond, will you spend the night with me tonight?
No.
Oh. Was that a question that was answered yes or no?
Yes, unfortunately it was. So that will not work. The way we are going to be asking the problem this year is how does the IV affect the DV? So if you guys remember, IV stands for independent variable and DV stands for dependent variable. It makes you guys sound smarter when you ask the question, how does the IV affect
the DV? So make sure when you ask that problem, and I don't mean your personal problems, we all got personal problems. I know that probably your brother gets on your nerves, he ate all your Pop-Tarts, that kind of thing, but we want to know what problem, what question are you asking based on your observation? Okay, so how do we observe our environment? Okay. So first, we look at the qual, and you're going to get used to hearing us saying, what's your qual, man? What's your qual? Qualitative is your 5 senses, your touch, sound, sight, taste, and hear, okay? And that refers to, like, for example, what do we see? We see colors and shape and size, okay? And that's how you describe your qual. Now, there's no distinct measurements. We're not saying it's 12 inches, it's 2.5 centimeters. But I want to make sure you understand this is not what you're saying, well, it looks like, no, like, none. Okay? This is where you just keep it plain, simple science. Now, your quan, what's your quan, man? That's what I'm talking about when we are looking for numbers and we're looking for measurements, okay? So, for example, I'm looking for numbers, like give me in centimeters, in inches, in yards, in feet. We really need to stick with the metric system, however. So we're going to try to keep you guys, with the centimeters, meters, and I know you guys were well equipped with this information last year from 6th grade.
Yeah, so just to review, the base units for the metric system for mass is grams. For volume, we'll talk in liters, and for length, we'll talk in meters.
So in the science fair, you definitely have to be metric. No English. No parts of Queen Elizabeth or King. Okay? All right. So, for example, if I say, what is the quantity of money in your wallet, Mrs. Diamond?
I will say $10.
Everything's $10. Okay.
10 and under, baby.
10, that's right. Always $10. Okay. The next one we're going to move on to is going to be research.
All right, guys. So research includes making more observations, researching the internet to gather information, using the library. We're going to spend a couple of days downstairs in the downstairs library really researching our topics, or any resource that you may find that produces information about your subject.
And we will help you guys with the research process. We do all of that here at school. But I also want to make sure you guys know that you can also interview people in the field as well. So say, for example, Mrs. Diamond, she really knew her planets, didn't she? So if you wanted to ask questions about, you're doing a project maybe over the solar system, Mrs. Diamond would be a good person to go to, or Mrs. Hain. So don't forget your interviews.
Yes, interviews, you actually learn more when you're having a conversation with somebody. So ask them questions that you might not be able to get through a quick Google search. This is really important, and if you have the opportunity to talk with someone who is an expert in chemistry or biology or whatever you are doing your science fair over, that's a great opportunity for you.
All right, so as promised, we keep it short and sweet. You know how we roll.
Under
All right.
10.
Under 10. 10, I like that.
I know.
That's great. Good times. Okay, so what do we want you to do? What do we expect from you? So in the flip section of your notebook, this is what you're going to do. Once you have watched this video, which you're watching now, you will need to go back and you'll need to write all the notes in your flip section of your notebook. So that's what we're going to look for tomorrow. I want to see all the notes for step 1, and I also want to see it, we want to see it for step 2 as well. All right? Then you need to come up with 3 examples of what a qualitative is, an observation. So that doesn't, you do not give me it looks like, you do not infer, tell me what it seems like, your personal. I don't want your personal opinion. I want the scientific. I want it to be what you exactly see using your 5 senses. And quantitative is when we use numbers, exact numbers, not it looks like the size of. There's no looks like, no inference. This is what you actually see, the quantitative.
Yeah, an example would be this paper clip has a mass of 0.03 grams.
And that is it. There's no eye, there's no looks. It's just straight up in your face. This is what it is. All right, so complete this in your notebook. Make sure that you go back and you answer each part of this and bring it to class, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Can't wait.
Peace out.